It's a battle for first place in North Arlington tonight. And we've got all the action for you live on Zach Arnold Productions, coming to you just north of Interstate 30 off of Davis Drive and just in front of Cravens Field. We're at the home of Lamar Viking baseball for a couple of 7-2 squads. The Arlington Colts are at the Lamar Vikings. The pregame show presented by Chapman Cornelius is coming up right after this. Don't go away. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com. If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346. Alongside my broadcast partner and my dad, Doug, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you into our sideline tent here for this evening's ball game between the Lamar Vikings and the Arlington Colts. Pops, we've got a different setup this evening, a little bit of a different configuration. We're down the baseline a little bit, but this is kind of our traditional spot for when we do radio style, but now we get to incorporate some video this evening as well.
Yeah, we've got the video camera set up in the stands this evening, and your mom, my wife Patsy, part of the production crew, is up there taking care of the camera tonight, along with Joel, my younger son, your younger brother. So it's a family deal here tonight, but we really like this sideline position here at Viking Field because we can see the action up close and personal. The only thing we can't see is that coffin corner down the right field line, but we'll just watch the umpires for fair and foul for that.
Or watch the camera, because we'll have a view of the field from that vantage point. So,
but what a game we got here tonight.
Oh, my goodness. You called a fantastic game on Tuesday between these two. I was going to say heavy hitters, but there wasn't that much heavy hitting that took place in that game on Tuesday night. Colton Quesada only gave up 2 unearned runs on 1 swing of the bat, and that was the entire production of that ball game that finished in under 2 hours. It
was a very, very much a classic pitching duel all night long. I'm not kidding. We started at 7 o'clock, and Mom and I were home by 8:15. 9:15. I'm sorry, 9:15 we were home. We were breaking down by 8:15 or 8:30. It was a fast ball game, and like you mentioned, Colton Quesada pitched a really good game. Danny Bustamante pitched just a little bit better.
He has thrown 4 complete game shutouts.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, you said there were no hits allowed.
It was a no-hit shutout.
It was a no-hitter on Tuesday, and then he also has a perfect game against Haltom. So he's got 4 complete game shutouts, 1 no-hitter, 1 perfect game during district play.
Yeah.
There's just nobody else that you want to throw in game 1 of a district series to help set the tone. But Luke Lazier has had a couple of really solid outings on the other side of the diamond. So we're in store for potentially another low-scoring affair here tonight.
Yeah, the runs were really stingy the other night at Colt Field. The only runs that scored were on a Jeremiah Taylor double to the right center field gap. It went all the way to the wall. Axel Alvarado was already on second, and when Taylor hit the ball, Axel, of course, came around to score. And we got all excited, and the fans are jumping up and down because there's a score in the game. And the throw came in from right field. Taylor was already at second. He overthrew the fielders, and the ball went into the dugout for a dead ball. By rule, allowing Taylor to come all the way home.
2 bases.
2 runs plated, and that was it.
And that's all they needed.
That's all they needed. And so we're looking forward to another really good battle here tonight with Abe Alvarado on the mound for the Colts. And like you said, Luke Lazier on the mound for Lamar. It's going to be a good one.
Lazier threw 5 innings in a 7-1 win against Sam Houston a couple of weeks ago with 9 strikeouts. He threw 7 Ks in over 7 innings of work against South Grand Prairie. That game went to extra innings. The young man's a workhorse on the other side of the diamond, and so it'll be interesting to see what kind of stamina Abe Alvarado has. Sometimes he's only able to go 4 or 5 innings, and then we need to bring in Mason Hensley to try to close the game out. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of run support the Arlington offense is able to produce for Alvarado and anybody else that may come in down the stretch.
Yeah, we've seen several games where Abe Alvarado hands the ball over to Mason Hensley. Very capable hands of Mason Hensley.
Yes.
Showing himself to be a good closer for the Colts.
Absolutely.
Has a much different approach to the mound, a much different speed and off speed that throws the batters of the other opponents off kilter just a little bit. And so they're a good 1-2 combination. But you're right. We'll have to see how the bats adjust to Lazier tonight.
Yeah, it'll be most likely runs at a premium. I was trying to go back and look through ball games that have previously taken place here at Lamar High School. Usually pretty windy conditions, but not a whole lot of wind here north of I-30. The only wind is coming from the gusts and the exhausts of the cars that are commuting home at the end of this beautiful Friday afternoon for baseball.
Yeah, usually that wind is vicious coming out of the south from I-30 up to the ball field. Tonight, the flags that are adorning the stands for the Vikings are blowing from the north. The wind is out of the north, but very slight and not going to affect the game at this point.
Yeah, the flag out in dead center field is limp at this moment. When the sun goes down, there is a chance that it'll increase, so we will try to keep you all apprised of that as the game progresses. But this is the 2 top teams in the district playing tonight, and then there's 2 other teams fighting for district seating on the ZAP network as Haltom visits Bowie. If Bowie wins and Lamar falters in this game against Arlington, Pops, it's 2 7-3 squads meeting each other next week to see who could end up being 2nd and 3rd place in the district.
Wow, it's just been a lot of fun to watch the parity in the district top to bottom. A couple of teams we weren't expecting to be at the bottom, but these 4 teams that are vying for positions at the top. Lamar, we weren't really expecting them to be in this position coming into the season, but they have shown themselves very strong and have held on to that top spot since the beginning of district play. So the Colts had a good game on Tuesday night. We'll see if they can take over sole position of first place tonight.
They have a 12-10 overall record, 7-2 in district. Lamar, after falling on Tuesday, is now 11-12 overall, but also 7-2 in district. As you mentioned, Arlington took game 1. They're looking for the sweep. They are riding a 5-game winning streak at this point and looking for win number 6 as they get ready to face the Lamar Vikings. The pregame show is presented by our friends at Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc. They're a family-owned business who have operated in the Arlington area for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan tailored to your small business's needs and budget. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346 or go to www.chapman-cornelius.com. We'll go ahead and send it over to the ZAP view of the field as the Arlington Colts are having their lineup presented. Pops, let's go ahead and let the folks at home know who's going to be batting for Arlington to lead off this ball game.
Okay, Arlington comes out getting their introductions. They'll be sporting like they did the other night at the blackout at Colt Field. They're wearing their black-on-black uniforms with the really sharp-looking bright green pinstripe and the word Arlington in script across the chest on the front. It's a really sharp-looking uniform. And as they come out, here's the batters for the evening. Leading off, Danny Bustamante, the 3rd baseman tonight. Batting 2nd, Mason Hensley playing shortstop. Batting 3rd, Matthew Wynn playing first base. Batting 4th and cleanup, London Prater, the right fielder. Batting 5th on the mound, Abe Alvarado. Batting 6th tonight, Axel Alvarado, his cousin, out in left field. Batting 7th tonight, the center fielder, Gannon Howard. Batting 8th, Jeremiah Taylor, the all-star catcher behind the plate. And batting 9th, Hayden White, the 2nd baseman for the Colts. So leading off, when they come up to bat, it'll be Bustamante, Hensley, and Wynn.
Defensively for the Lamar Vikings, Burns is at first, Owings is at second. Quesada, who got the start on the mound, will be playing third. Ben Shryock is going to be DH4 and playing shortstop. Connor Bushell will get the start in left field. Archibald's in center. McKay is in right. And Brock Jackson will be the battery mate for the man on the mound tonight, Luke Lazier. Lazier on the mound for the Vikings.
Zach, we've got some fun here at Viking Field tonight, as we did Tuesday at Colt Field. It was Future Colt Night, and so all the young baseball players that are looking to come up through the Arlington system and eventually play varsity at Arlington High were there. And tonight it's Future Viking Night. So all the Viking defensive players trotted out onto the field with a future Viking at their side, and they're all standing out there with them, ready for the national anthem coming right up. So it's kind of a fun atmosphere here tonight.
We'll let you take in the atmosphere for the anthem and then have first pitch right after that. Don't know if you can hear them shout out the word Stars, but we got a lot of Dallas Stars fans in this Arlington High black and green uniform combo. Pops, the Dallas Stars are headed to the postseason, but they're kind of stumbling in after 3 or 4 consecutive losses. So it'll be interesting to see how the hometown hockey team does. And it'll be really interesting to see how things go tonight here on the Baseball Diamond. Hit that share button, folks. It is baseball time in Texas.
Zach, we mentioned the uniform for the Colts tonight, the black on black with the really sharp green, bright green pinstripe. Lamar tonight, on Tuesday at Arlington, they were in their powder blues, kind of like the old Kansas City Royals or the Texas Rangers road uniforms. Tonight they're in their home navy top with Vikings scripted across the chest and a white pant. So navy blue and white pants for the Lamar Vikings tonight. Got our Colt batters in the on-deck circle here. Danny Bustamante taking some swings here right in front of the broadcast table.
Yeah, we're along the baseline near the dugout. You can't even see our warm-up area from your vantage point.
Yeah, you can see Bustamante taking some swings in the far right edge there, and we're right behind him.
Right in front of us.
So
Still,
it's a nice vantage point for us.
No place that we'd rather be than at the ballpark, though.
Hey, it's a perfect night. Friday night, the temperature's just right. Sun is going down behind us. Like you said, wind conditions are a non-factor so far. And so we're really looking forward to the setting is perfect for a matchup of this magnitude.
That's a good way of putting it. That's a very good way of putting it.
We've seen some games here before. I remember one really thrilling game here where it was so tight and late in the game, and there were pretty significant hits at the plate that would just go straight up and get caught in the wind and be a pop-up in the infield. So Colt dugout alive and well tonight as we get started. Bustamante goes into the batter circle there and kicks the dirt, messes up Coach Kino's lines there. Coach Kino, the head coach for Lamar. You can see Coach Womack taking his place down the third base line, the head coach for Arlington High. And the first pitch from Luke Lazier, called strike one by that home plate umpire.
And we're officially underway. First pitch, 7:01 p.m.
Second pitch in there for another called strike. Bustamante quickly down 0-2 to Luke Lazier, the starting pitcher for Lamar.
We're already getting a glimpse of him attacking the strike zone, something he's done his last couple of outings.
That one bounces in. gets away from the catcher, Brock Jackson. Assistant coach Lamar comes out and retrieves that ball. Pretty good distance behind home plate to the backstop here at Viking Field. About 3 times the distance there is at Colt Field. That ball's fouled off straight back into the backstop. The count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's a good job by Bustamante defending the plate there, doing everything he can to keep that 0-2 count where it is and keep the at-bat alive.
On deck hitter Mason Hensley retrieves that ball. Matthew Wynn in the hole. 1-2. Swung on and hit towards short. Shortstop Shryock fields it cleanly and gets it across the diamond to Burns for the first out. We'll record that as a 6-3 if you're scoring at home and the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Mason Hensley.
Hensley, the only switch hitter in the Arlington lineup, able to go to different sides of the plate depending on who he's facing. He'll dig into the left-handed batter's box to face the right-handed throwing Lazier.
Lazier set and ready for the first pitch to Hensley. Swung on and hit towards center field. It's looping up in the air. The center fielder circling under it, and Logan Archibald makes the catch. We'll score that one in F8, and the second out for the Colts here in their first at-bat. That'll bring up Matthew Wynn.
Yeah, Hensley is headed off to Kansas City, Kansas Community College at the end of this season. Matthew Wynn is an Austin College commit up in Sherman.
Lazier's first pitch to Wynn. A little bit low for ball 1.
Jackson tried to frame it. Umpire was having none of it.
1-0 pitch coming from Lazier. Looked like it was about the same spot. Low for ball 2.
About the same result, too.
So what we like in consistency from an umpire. The umpire at Colt Field Tuesday night seemed to have a low and outside strike he was calling, but he was calling it every time. Speaking of strikes, there's a called strike on that outside corner. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 on Wynn.
Yeah, Lazier raised that about 6 inches into the strike zone and finally got the call he was looking for.
Off-speed pitch is a called strike.
Instead of moving it up from being too far down, he's able to drop it in from above to bring it to a 2-2 count.
Even count pitch coming. Swung on and hit hard out to second base, but it's fielded there cleanly by Owens. And he throws the ball low to first base, and it gets away from the first baseman, Ransom Burns. Goes into the dugout, and since by rule we talked about the play with Jeremiah Taylor earlier, the ball was not quite there. Wynn was not at first base. The ball was thrown in the dugout, 2 bases. He takes up residence at second base. So the Colts have 2 outs on the board as London Prater goes and greets everybody at the plate with a handshake. Very gentlemanly.
Baseball's a gentlemanly sport. You don't see soccer players greeting each other like that out on the pitch.
Not likely. So Lazier with a runner at second, 2 outs. Takes a look at Wynn out there. Comes home to Prater. Off-speed pitch catches that outside corner for strike 1.
By my count, he's got at least 3 different pitches he's attacked with so far. Probably has 4 in his repertoire. We'll see how many of them are on point and how many Arlington is able to connect on.
0-1 pitch home. Swung on and missed. I felt the breeze from that one.
That was a big cut, and he leads the team in home runs. I think he's got a couple of triples on the year, lots of extra base hits off of the bat of London Prater. That's why he's in the cleanup spot.
No balls, 2 strikes on Prater. Cleanup hitter for the Colts. Lineup and the pitch. A little bit low and outside, ball 1.
Looked like that was where they were trying to put it, though, as Brock Jackson kind of pumped his glove a little bit in the direction of Lazier, saying that's where I wanted it. He just didn't offer at it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on and this one's popped, but it's going to go over the first base dugout and then to foul territory. Count will remain 1 ball and 2.
Bowie and Haltom also underway across town at the ballpark at Bowie. That game also live on the Zap Network. Tim Costello and Jot Holly on the call for that game.
Swung on and fouled straight back into the fencing behind the plate. Good battle going on here between London Prater and Luke Lazier. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
if he should find a way aboard, the pitcher, Abe Alvarado, just retrieved that foul ball.
Curveball, caught just enough of it to fight it off. Count stays, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And see, this is an indicator that he's got the timing of Lazier's pitches, but he's not able to square up on them just yet. He's sending it directly back. He's sending it off to the side. Once he squares up on it, it could be trouble.
Matthew Wynn getting a good lead off at second. Lazier ready for the 1-2 pitch again. Swung on and lofted to center field. Archibald is going to float out there and come right under it and make the 3rd out.
So the E4 doesn't amount to anything, but Arlington does avoid going 1-2-3 in the top half of the inning. It's the Colts 0 and the Vikings coming up. Wade Roofing. If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you. Taqueria Taco Express is your one-stop shop for all things authentic Mexican in Arlington and Grand Prairie. And this fall, you'll now have 4 stops to choose from. Visit the new location off 20 and Little Road or any of their 3 original locations and try their $10 Taco Tuesday. It includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca. They also feature new birria items plus tortas, gorditas, and more. Find out just how much more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com. Welcome back to North Arlington, just about 12 minutes away from my place of work. I was able to come right down the street and help set up for this evening's ball game. Be back in a week for when Bowie plays Lamar. Zach Arnold and my pops Doug on the call for this critical district ball game between the Colts and the Vikings. Leading off for the Vikings and playing second base, it'll be number 18, Grafton Owings. Batting second and DHing number 3, Jacob Greco. The catcher, Brock Jackson, bats third, and he'll be followed by the cleanup hitter, third baseman, Colton Quesada. Out in right field, batting fifth, it's Colton McKay, a couple of Coltons back-to-back for the Vikings. Batting sixth at first base, Ransom Burns. Batting seventh in left field, Connor Bushell. Logan Archibald bats eighth and plays center field tonight, and Luke Lazier will bat for himself and round out the order in the 9th spot. Not in the lineup tonight is the shortstop, number 4, Ben Shryock. Defensively for the Colts, Matthew Wynn's at first, Hayden White is at second, Danny Bustamante's at third, Mason Hensley's at short, Axel Alvarado's in left, Gannon Howard's in center, London Prater is in right. Behind the plate, the 2-time District Defensive Player of the Year and Austin College commit Jeremiah Taylor, and on the mound, Abe Alvarado.
All right, Zach, here for the bottom of the first inning. Grafton Owens steps in for his first at bat of the evening. Alvarado's wind and his pitch in there with some heat, called strike 1. Abe Alvarado ready for pitch number 2, and it's fought off and fouled behind the plate. Count goes to no balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff batter here, Grafton Owings. Owings playing second base for the Vikes tonight. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed.
Does not get more efficient than that. 3 pitches and back to the dugout.
That's 1 out and the first strikeout for Abe Alvarado, and that'll bring up Jacob Greco, designated hitter for the Vikings.
Young man's got some good taste in music. Smells like Teen Spirit for a walk-up song.
First pitch to Greco coming from Alvarado and swung out and hit high into shallow outfield. White backs up, calls everybody else off. Good communication, makes the out.
4 pitches, 2 outs.
Yeah, I'm sure that Brock Jackson will get the sign to take no matter what.
So
catcher Brock Jackson steps in.
Well, that will give Abe the opportunity to get ahead in the count, which is something that's going to be important as this game goes on.
Alvarado, his first pitch to Jackson. A little bit of off-speed pitch there for a called strike 1. You called it, partner. 0-1 delivery coming to the catcher for the Vikes. A little bit high, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brock Jackson. The wind and the pitch. A little bit outside, says the umpire. Umpire kind of made a little swish with his right hand.
Made his hand swoop out to the right a little bit. It was high enough, just did not cross the plate where it needed to.
2 balls, 1 strike. Swung on and hit to third base. Danny Bustamante there, skips it up, throws it across the wind, and that does it for the Vikings on the 5-3 putout. Bustamante to win to end their half of the first inning.
It's an 8-pitch half inning with a strikeout for Abe Alvarado, and that's the way we'll end the first inning. To the second we go, scoreless in North Arlington. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Page's Pretty Roots is a Texas-based small business where you can discover handcrafted treasures designed to nurture your body and soul. From custom t-shirts that showcase your unique style to nourishing sugar scrubs and moisturizers made with love. Whether you're looking for a fun fashion statement or all-natural self-care, you'll find something special here. Shop now and experience the magic of handmade by scanning the QR code or searching Page's Pretty Roots on Etsy.com.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
Welcome back to the top of the second inning here from the campus of Lamar High School in North Arlington, right at the corner of I-30 and Davis Drive, for this magnificent matchup between the Arlington Colts and the Lamar Vikings. Both of them tied at the top of the district lead. Somebody looking to break that tie tonight, and Arlington's got to get their bats rolling here in the top of the second. They'll be sending their 5, 6, 7-hole hitters to the plate. Abe Alvarado, the pitcher, leading off, looking to help his own cause. His cousin Axel Alvarado on deck right behind him. And in the hole, Gannon Howard. So Alvarado, and Howard at the 1, 2, 3.
You're not repeating yourself.
Abe Alvarado, Axel Alvarado, and then Gannon Howard, the 1, 2, 3 hitters in this half inning. Luke Lazier on for his second inning of work. We say that because we have seen in another game previously this year where a pitcher looked like he really did well in the first inning, and then they took him out in the second inning. And I did find out from my friends at Sam Houston what happened, but that's another time for another story. First pitch to Abe Alvarado misses a little bit outside for ball 1. Lazier takes a long time, comes home, fouled straight back. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to the leadoff hitter here in the top of the second, Abe Alvarado. Brock Jackson adjusting his listening device to get his signals from the coach in the dugout.
Yeah, that's something that's been recently added to the high school level, being able to have a walkie-talkie in your ear for the pitch call.
That ball swung on and hit. What a catch at second base. A leaping catch by Grafton Owens. Snags that well-hit ball by Abe Alvarado, but it's nothing but a line to 4 in the first out.
Got some good elevation there by position number 4. Owings able to time it and leap for it, and if he doesn't get that, it falls in front of the right fielder McKay for a base hit. So
I thought it was heading for a base hit.
Eliminates a base runner on that play. That's good play.
First pitch to Axel Alvarado is a called strike 1. Good crowd here at Viking Field tonight.
Indeed.
Lazier's wind and delivery. Another called strike.
Pops, I went out to go and get something from the car as people were coming in, and the Lamar faithful printed T-shirts for tonight's game with a big boot that says "Kick the Colts."
0-2 delivery down in the dirt. The theme is Western theme tonight, from what I heard from the PA announcer.
Mr. Bill Frawley, longest tenured PA announcer in AISD.
1-2 delivery, off speed in the dirt.
And it's actual dirt here.
Yep.
We called a game, you and I, at Grand Prairie not too long ago, and then Arlington played at South, and both of those campuses have turf fields, but it's all dirt here tonight.
I'll say Coach Kino's got this field in such good shape, it looks like turf. Swung on and hit to second base. Another good play there by Grafton Owings over to first, and the 4-3 put out retires Axel Alvarado.
Barely. Owings dropped it and had to recover it and only beat Axel by about a half a step. He was descending onto the bag as Burns hauled in the catch.
That'll bring up Gannon Howard, the Colts' regular center fielder. Should he get the opportunity, Jeremiah Taylor is on deck. But there are 2 outs in the inning and nobody on base. First pitch to Howard is swung on and hit towards short. Shryock bobbles the ball. He boots it out there at second base. And Gannon Howard will be on board. And we're going to have to give an E6 on that one.
Yep. Even though he was a little out of position and he had to go over to that, if you're a varsity starting shortstop, that's a play you're supposed to make.
So that will bring up Jeremiah Taylor, the all-star defensive catcher for the Colts.
And he was the one responsible for all of the run production in Tuesday's ball game.
Absolutely. Hayden White steps in the on-deck circle. Should Taylor be able to keep this inning alive? Gannon Howard, the speedy runner, over at first. Lazier does come home. A little bit low for ball 1.
Yeah, if base runners are at a premium, you have to wonder what type of small ball might start to take effect and if Howard is given the signal to steal.
Lazier comes set. Looks over, throws over to first. Close play over there. The umpire says no, he is back in time.
I think he was going to steal until he had to jump back.
Lazier with a good move over there to first. Umpire still staring at first, make sure everything's good. Pitch home. Catches the strike zone for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jeremiah Taylor at the plate. But where everybody seems to be keeping an eye on Gannon Howard over at first.
Rightfully so.
Lazier takes a peek over there and throws back.
Not even a tag.
Not even a tag that time. I'll let you make the call on that because Hayden White is standing right in my line of vision for first base.
That's why there's 2 of us.
Lazier set. 1-1 pitch home.
That's a good steal.
Gannon Howard's going, and the ball gets away from Brock Jackson at the plate.
Well, it was a slider that was let go of too late by Lazier, and it actually bounced in front of Jackson. So that was the perfect pitch to go on. Howard was already running. Jackson was trying to jump up, wasn't able to corral that wonky pitch correctly, and now there's a man in scoring position.
Same situation as was at Colt Field the other night. 2-1 pitch home, swung on and hit to the outfield. It's a long hit. St. Archibald's on his horse, but he is able to get there and bring that one in. So an F8 ends the inning for Arlington. We will head to the break and go visit our sponsors. This is high school baseball presented by Zap, brought to you by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Hey Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana. Aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Grand Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Excited to have you along for this district action. 7-2 Arlington, 7-2 Lamar. The Colts and the Vikings duking it out on the diamond in order to see who will take prime position in 8-6A with only 2 weeks left to go after this ball game. Arlington will be facing Grand Prairie in a home-and-home on Tuesday and Thursday next week. And the Vikings will be playing the Bowie Volunteers in a home-and-home next week. So a couple of big district series. After the Colts play Grand Prairie, they have to play their rival Martin Pops. And even though Martin's on a little bit of a downturn, you never take a rivalry game for granted. So it does not get that much easier for the Colts even after this game concludes.
Yeah, when I was in high school, and we're taking a few extra warm-up pitches while Jeremiah Taylor gets his catcher's equipment on. When I was in high school and a student at Arlington High, Lamar was our big rival. Big rival in football, big rival in everything. And then when Martin High School was built, the rivalry shifted.
Well, because a lot of the students from Arlington
moved out there,
moved and transferred out to Martin High. So there's the perspective at 817 West Park Row, 815. I forget. Is it 818? I think it's 818.
818, yeah.
818 believes that they are first here and best here, and they're trying to prove that to the rest of AISD for the next couple of weeks.
So here come the Vikings in their half of the second inning. Leading off, they're going to send the 4, 5, 6 hitters to the plate. Colton Quesada leading off. Colton McKay, the right fielder, on deck. Ransom Burns in the hole to get things started. Abe Alvarado on for his second inning of work. Had a very strong first inning with a strikeout, a fly out, and a ground out. Umpire calls play, and we're ready for the first pitch to Colton Quesada. Last night, the Tuesday night pitcher for Lamar. Off-speed pitch, tails away outside for ball one. Looks like they got the scoreboard back on. Somebody's tripped over the plug out there. Next pitch is swung on to the right side, foul to the right side, over the dugout, and into foul territory for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike to the leadoff hitter, Colton Quesada. Quesada pitched a really fine ball game for Lamar Tuesday night.
Yeah, some representatives from a recruiting agency called Five Tool were at the ball game, and they clocked him peaking his fastball at 89 miles per hour.
Impressive. That last pitch was a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Quesada. Swung on and fouled to the left side this time. Count will stay 1-2. Coach Kino strolls over to pick that one up. Encouraging Quesada to straighten it out. He's hit 1 to the right foul, 1 to the left foul. The 1-2 pitch from Alvarado. Off-speed pitch gets him swinging. And it goes all the way into center field. He thinks that Taylor missed it, but the umpire's got his fist up and says, no,
the umpire says out, out.
He was out. So
Bustamante lost it in the sun when he was trying to make the rounds.
That's
and
the
it
second.
went into left field.
Second strikeout for Abe Alvarado. I'm going to start a little count ticker at the bottom of the score sheet.
Yep, little tally mark.
Oh, they're going to consult about this now.
And appeal has been made.
Coach Kino's asking for the first base umpire's opinion, and it stays an out. So Quesada does travel back to the dugout and have a seat with 1 out after his strikeout. They thought that Taylor had dropped that ball, which would have allowed Quesada to run to first.
It makes sense because he scooped his glove way down and kicked up a little bit of dirt.
Yeah.
And when you have that visual down there like that, it gives the illusion, the impression that that's what happened.
That'll bring up right fielder Colton McKay for his first appearance, and he takes a strike looking from Abe Alvarado.
From Colton to Colton.
Colton 1, Colton 2.
Oh.
That pitch is a called strike.
Got him with the fastball, crossed him with the changeup. That's a good 1-2 punch.
And Abe seems to have it working tonight, both of those pitches. Fouled off, McKay protecting the plate there.
He was behind on that fastball, though. He was lucky to get that. He went fastball, curveball, fastball, and McKay wasn't able to keep up with the return fastball.
Count remains no balls, 2 strikes to the batter, Colton McKay. Abe's wind and pitch. Off speed, bounces a little bit too early, breaks early, bounces in front of the plate for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count.
It's a good check swing there by McKay. He thought about it, though.
1-2 delivery. Fastball gets him looking.
He went around that time.
Swinging K, backwards K, and there's 2 outs in the inning. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Ransom Burns. Two outs in the inning. Swung on and hit right in the gap, right over second base and into center field where Howard will retrieve it. But a good base hit right up the middle puts Burns at first.
Yeah, Burns was looking for a particular pitch and must have seen what he was looking for. Abe gets the ball back and taps himself on the chest. He may not have placed it where he needed to. It splits the defensive gap between Hensley and White, but it is scooped up well by Gannon Howard. We'll see if that base runner proves difficult. So far, a lot of the base running has happened in this ball game with 2 outs.
First pitch to Buechele is outside and saved by Taylor as he jumps out of that catcher's box and keeps that one in his glove for ball 1. The sun is a factor right now. The left fielder, Axel Alvarado, holding his glove up over his eyes, as is Gannon Howard in center. Sun is a big factor right now. Swung on and missed at the plate by Buechele. 1-1 goes the count. Abe comes set. The 1-1 pitch home. Curveball hit out towards shortstop. Hensley charges. He's going to have a tough throw over there, but he gets it there.
Wow.
Throws a bullet, and the 6-3 out retires the Vikings here in the bottom of the second inning.
That's how you charge at a ball from shortstop position and get the out. 6-3 will end the inning and strand Ransom Burns at first. We're through 2 complete and scoreless here in North Arlington. Stick around. There's a lot more baseball left to play. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, we can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org.
Welcome back to the Colts half of the third inning. Top of the third, 0-0 between Arlington and Lamar. A battle for first place in District 8-6A going on here tonight. Teams are knotted up. And the beginning of the third inning is presented, all of the third inning is presented by our friends at Ika Signs. Located in the heart of Arlington, they offer same-day production on certain rush orders and offer a wide catalog of custom printed materials. Call 817-617-2229 to find out how Ika Signs can help your brand's visibility. The third inning presented by Ika Signs. Colts will send their 9-1-2 hitters. Hayden White leading off for the Colts as Luke Wazier is on for his third inning of work. First pitch is a called strike 1. On deck for the Colts, the top of the order, Danny Bustamante. And in the hole, Mason Hensley. Second pitch to White. Another call on the outside corner, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter, Hayden White. Wazier lines and delivers an off-speed pitch, and umpire says it's just a little bit outside, much to the chagrin of the Lamar faithful who are crowding the stands on the third base side.
Yeah, there's a little more space on this first base line, but not a whole lot.
Swung on and chopped to third. Quesada makes the play, throws across the diamond to Burns for the 5-3 putout. Zach, take a look over the left field fence hanging in the sky ever so faintly. We've got a full moon.
We do. Hope it's not a bad moon rising.
Back to the top of the order, Danny Bustamante, the second hitter of the inning here. One out, nobody on. Lazier takes a deep breath on the mound and steps up to the pitcher's rubber. Mason Hensley swinging right in front of us here in the on-deck circle. Busta fouls the first one back into the netting behind the plate for strike one.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do about that. We chose to sit here.
Oh, no, it's okay. I like the ground level view sometimes. Swung on and missed at the plate by Bustamante. Lazier working ahead in the count pretty consistently so far tonight. 0-2 on Bustamante. Busta grounded to short his first time up. Lazier comes set, and the 0-2 delivery. High for ball one. Good look there by Busta.
Yeah, that was eyeball high, and sometimes those look big and juicy and you want to offer at him, so he did a good job laying off of that one.
1-2 delivery down low in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Quality at bat by Bustamante, laying off of a couple of ones that a lot of other young men might offer at.
Lazier takes a look, his wind and his 2-2 pitch. Bustamante kind of flinched at it, but laid off, and wisely so, as that one was in the dirt for ball 3.
Count comes all the way full now.
Yeah, it's good job by Bustamante to work it back full after going down 0-2. Lazier ready for the payoff pitch.
Too low.
Too low, and he'll take the free pass.
To come all the way back from 0-2 and look at 4 balls in a row to take the free pass.
So a runner at first base with 1 out, and that'll bring up Mason Hensley. Left-handed batting shortstop. Lazier is now going to have a speedy runner over at first to occupy his thoughts. Matthew Wynn on deck for the Colts. Overthrow over to first base. Close play, and the umpire in the field says no. Busta got back safely. Lazier's got a really good move to
He's
first.
got a good move to first, and Burns has a good sweeping tag. He's able to begin the process of moving his glove for the tag as he's completing the catch on the pickoff attempt. Very, very close play at first.
Lazier comes home this time with the off-speed pitch to Hensley, and it's a little bit inside, says the umpire, for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Hensley flew out to center field, his first at bat tonight. Oh, another throw over to first, but no tag this time by Burns. Busta getting his uniform nice and dirty out there. Pitch home, a little bit low and down in the dirt for ball 2. Lazier may be a little more preoccupied with the runner at first, and he's lost his focus, and here comes the pitching coach for Lamar. Matthew Wynn taking swings on deck. The entire infield comes in for a conference at the mound. Coach Womack going to call his batter Hensley over to visit with him for a little bit. You were talking about looking ahead to next week. Arlington will be taking on a home-and-home situation versus the Grand Prairie Gophers.
Yeah, I think you and I are on the call for that Tuesday game, and then you'll have Thursday with somebody else.
And we've got some fun on tap for
tomorrow.
The other team that Zap covers in the Bowie Volunteers will be having their senior day game at the ballpark at Bowie. And we'll be bringing all that action to you as they take on a non-district opponent.
There is a non-district game for Arlington as well, but unfortunately due to staffing issues, we will not be able to provide coverage for that game. So fans, we encourage you to come out and support the Colts as they take on Frisco Lone Star. That game against the Rangers will be at noon at Colt Field tomorrow.
Counts 3-0 to Mason Hensley. That one comes right down the pipe for strike one.
Yeah, that one was chest high at the green Arlington curvature across his chest. He was taken the whole way. At some point, you have to dare Lazier to throw a strike, and that's what he does there.
Somebody's asleep at the Lamar scoreboard, so keep an eye on the Zap score bug. We've got it right. Runner takes off. Throw
Doesn't
by
matter.
Jackson down to first, but it's a called strike.
It's a called strike. I thought it was ball 4. That was below the knees. But they're going to say that it's a stolen base, much to the chagrin of the Lamar faithful, and now Kino is coming out again to contest the call.
The call at the plate was a strike, so it's a full count on Hensley. But the throw by Brock Jackson was evidently very close. And Coach Kino is debating it with the second base umpire.
Yeah, but he was 10, 12 feet away from it. You can't make an appeal to somebody who is way further away for that, so just asking for clarification more than anything at this point. What did you see versus not see?
Bustamante cleaning the dirt out of his glasses. He's going to have somebody clean his glasses while he's running out there.
Yeah, welcome to the game, young man. You got your jersey dirty, you got your hair dirty, you got your glasses dirty. You are officially a part of the game now.
Hensley steps back in with a 3-2 count after all of that discussion about the stolen base. Payoff pitch is swung on and hit the first base, and it's fair. Here comes Bustamante rounding third. He's going to make it home. Hensley's going to get stuck at first as the throw comes all the way to the plate. Hensley's fine, and he gets an RBI base hit to bring in Bustamante. And fans, that is the first run of the game for the Colts. First run scored by the Colts is their first taco tally. All first runs of the game are presented by Taqueria Taco Express this season. Visit any of their 4 locations on Taco Tuesday for their $10 meal special. Bustamante scores, and we get a run on the board for the visitors.
Small ball. A walk, a stolen base, and a single puts the first run across.
First pitch, Mason Hensley gets that base hit, and he takes that first base. Busta scores, and Matthew Wynn takes ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Wynn. Throw over to first base. Burns does make a courtesy tag over there on Hensley, but he's back easily. London Prater taking warm-up swings in the on-deck circle. Lazier taking several glances over at Hensley, and he does come home to Wynn. Wynn gets a hold of this one, sends it to right field. McKay is under it, makes the catch, and Hensley will return to first base. So the F9 retires Matthew Wynn for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up London Prater.
McKay looked like he might have lost it with the sun in the coming off of his left cheek there. Might have been catching in the corner of his eyeball. Able to corral it, though, for out number 2.
What an important run for the Colts here in this inning, though. This first pitch to Prater is down low and away for ball 1. Clutch hit right down the line by Hensley. With a runner in scoring position, it's just what you want to see. Lazier throws to first again. Hensley back easily. Hensley gets back up on the mound. Takes a look at Hensley again. Taking a long time between pitches here. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 runner on at first, 2 outs in the inning. Colts up 1-0 in this critical matchup between district leaders. The home pitch down to third base. Quesada snags it. Throws it across to first, bounces it, and it's booted at first base. Hensley's going to round second and make it to third. Second error of the game for the Vikings defense.
Third
error. Yep. You're right, third error.
And E5 puts runners on the corners for the Colts. If you, I don't mean to be disparaging, Pops, but if you want to be first place in the district, you cannot have 3 errors in the first 3 innings.
No. And they're all been critical infield errors so far.
And all relatively routine.
Yeah. Just a poor throw from Quesada across the field to Burns, and Burns wasn't able to dig it out. So Lazier now facing Abe Alvarado, the pitcher for the Colts, looking to help his own cause here with a runner just 90 feet away. First pitch is down and low for ball 1. Umpire calls time at the plate. As here comes Kino, we may have a pitching change here.
After 2 2/3? This is the second mound visit of the
Yes,
inning, isn't it?
It is.
That'll be it. That'll be the hook.
I'm gonna watch him. Oh no, he's coming out. No, he's talking to Ransom Burns.
Burns is
Burns is maybe injured.
He's a little shaken getting up. Interesting. So there may be a substitution, just not on the mound.
Womack comes over to talk to Coach Krosno. Kino seems to be headed back to his dugout, and he indicates that his first baseman tweaked his right knee, as Coach Kino points to his right knee, satisfying the umpire that Kino was not out there to talk to his pitcher.
Right. He did kind of cross the mound a little bit, so he could have had the opportunity to sneak in a word, but he did not.
Yeah, the umpire was right there, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to stay on that.
So back to action here with Abe Alvarado. 1-0 to him. Prater at first, Hensley at third. 2 outs in the inning. Abe calls time. Lazier is taking a long time between pitches here.
Trying to set the tone. It's a little bit of gamesmanship there.
The pitch home, down in the dirt, stays in front. Brock Jackson does a good job blocking it, keeping Hensley at third. Count does go to 2 balls and no strikes.
Runs could be at a premium. If this gets by Jackson, it's a totally different ball game. 2-0 is very different from 1-0.
Lazier comes set. The 2-0 pitch home. Off-speed pitch that catches that outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, he drops that into the bucket pretty well there. Been trying to find it and hasn't been attacking it quite as well as we expected, but he gets the call there.
Should he get the opportunity, Axel Alvarado on deck for the Colts. Abe at the plate right now. That pitch low and away as the runner heads down to second base uncontested. So Prater at second, Hensley at third. And a 3-1 count, hitter's count to Abe Alvarado. Lazier comes set, takes a look at Prater, and comes home. Curveball, catches the zone, strike 2.
Abe thought that was too far inside, but again, that off-speed drops into the zone to work the count full with 2 outs. We'll see if the runners go here.
Lazier ready, the payoff pitch. Swung on and chopped down to third. Quesada boots it again! Another run for the Colts. Prater will steam into third, and Abe Alvarado gets bat on ball, but on the E5, another Colt run comes home.
Back-to-back E5s to make it a 2-0 advantage for Arlington here in the 3rd inning.
So runners at the corners for the Colts here. Abe Alvarado at first. London Prater moves over to third. Axel Alvarado steps into the left-handed batting box. Grounded to second, his first at bat. Lazier comes set First pitch to Axel is in there for a called strike one. Full moon rising and becoming brighter over left field. As the evening wears on, you may be able to see it as Brock Jackson calls for time at the plate, wants to go out and talk to his battery mate and make sure they've got all their signs straight here in this very important situation. He's trying to work out of a jam here as the Colts with a little bit of a 2-out rally going here.
I remember a tournament game that we called where Arlington practically batted around with 2 outs.
Yes.
They're very capable of that and being opportunistic, taking advantage of mistakes. And so far, it's been 2 mistakes at the expense of Tuesday's pitcher, Colton Quesada, that has given Arlington a 2-0 advantage.
Jackson and Burns return to their respective positions, and we're ready for the 0-1 pitch to Axel Alvarado. Swung on and foul back behind the backstop. 0-2 now to the left fielder for the Colts tonight.
Colin Murphy running at first base, number 6. He was often running on the contact, just doing whatever he can when bat connects with ball.
Lazier set the 0-2 pitch to Axel. Swung on and fouled at the plate. He stays alive. Cue the Bee Gees.
I was about to say that.
We work too much together.
You've spent too much time around me. Kristen Crocker is in the YouTube chat saying, "Get 'em Colts." She was recently honored for her achievements and her work ethic at Arlington High School. Been a long-time listener and supporter of our program and getting some honors that are due. As Murphy gets the stolen base there, we send our love and our congratulations to Ms. Crocker for what she does for the Arlington High community.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Axel Alvarado. Now Colts run at second and third base here with 2 outs in the inning. Gannon Howard taking some cuts in the on-deck circles if he gets the opportunity to bat here. The pitch home, a little bit outside.
And I don't think that's where Jackson was expecting it to be. He had to shift in his crouch and reach over to get that. Good thing he's got those types of reflexes. If it gets past him, that's another run.
2's running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Lazier trying to work himself out of a jam here. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Curveball outside. Count runs to 3-2. Axel giving this some good looks at the plate here. Got down 0-2 to begin, and now he's worked the count to 3-2. Lazier taking a long look in and finally comes set. The payoff pitch to Axel. Called strike 3 at the plate.
Goodness. That was a matter of inches. And that time, Lazier able to record his first K of the evening. Couldn't have come at a better time. It thwarts the Arlington threat, but not before they plate 2 to strike first here in the 3rd inning. We'll be right back with more high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing right after this.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Eka Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Eka can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ekasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Eka Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
Zach Arnold Productions is proud to service the greater Arlington and DFW area. With experience in broadcasting, podcasting, web series, public address, marketing, and public relations, Zap can help you tackle any modern communications task. Whether you need an announcer for your sporting event or just need help proofing a press release, be sure to call 817-319-2402 to see how you can find energetic media solutions for your task with Zach Arnold Productions.
Welcome back to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Action here from Lamar Viking baseball field on the campus of Lamar High School, north end of the Arlington ISD district. just a little bit north of I-30, intersecting with Davis Drive here. Full moon rising over the left field fence. And the Vikings down 2-0 now, sending their 8, 9, and 1 batters to the plate. Logan Archibald, the center fielder, leading off. Luke Lazier, the pitcher, on deck. And Grafton Owings, the one-hole hitter, will be batting third this inning. Abe Alvarado on for his third inning of work. His first pitch is down in the dirt for ball 1. Lamar dugout trying to generate some excitement, coming alive with a little bit of chanting over there. Abe winds in his 1-0 pitch. Swung on and hit to the outfield. Gannon Howard circling under it, moving to his left, and he puts the glove on it for the F8 and the first out of the inning. As we mentioned earlier, no wind here tonight to wreak havoc on those outfielders.
That usually happens quite a bit at this ballpark.
First out in the books will bring up the number 9 hole hitter, the pitcher, Luke Lazier. Luke having some difficulty with defensive support tonight. First pitch to him is down in the dirt for ball 1. Vikings with 4 errors on the night.
That's the story of the ball game.
It is.
These are unearned runs.
1-0 pitch coming from Abe. Swung on and chopped to the left side, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to Luke Lazier. I don't think Luke is pitching poorly. He's getting the Colts to put bat on ball.
No, he's attacking the strike zone. He just doesn't have the defense.
Curveball drops in there for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on pitcher, mono pitcher. Pitcher on pitcher here. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery. He thought about it. It was a curveball that broke a little bit too early. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Luke Lazier. He flinched on it, didn't he?
Just a little bit.
Alvarado back on the rubber. Winds for the 2-2 pitch. Swash ball swung on and missed.
Blew it by him. 4th K as he makes his way through the lineup. Out of the 9 pitchers he's faced, he's retired 4 of them on strikes. That's pretty darn good.
Impressive outing so far. We've got a new batter for Lamar stepping in. Number 2, Jackson Davis. Jackson Davis stepping in.
I bet we'll see some changes in the infield after that apparent injury to Ransom Burns. I bet Grafton Owings probably going to be one of the victims of some defensive alignment changes.
First pitch to Jackson is a called strike 1. 2 outs in the inning here in the bottom of the 3rd. Abe Alvarado in control so far. Next pitch to Jackson Davis. Davis thought about it, but he held up. Davis played second base in the game Tuesday night, and he had some difficulty in the field. And I thought that's maybe why he was replaced. That pitch on the inside corner, called strike 2. Davis is holding his hands out like, what? But the umpire said that one caught the inside edge of the plate. 0-2 pitch. That curveball breaks a little bit early and is down in the dirt for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jackson Davis. We'll see where he ends up in the field should there be that many defensive changes. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Sit down, Mr. Davis. And put another strikeout on the board for Abe Alvarado as he strikes out 2 of the 3 Lamar batters this inning. That'll take us to the break here. 4th inning. Lamar 0, Arlington 2. We'll step aside and visit with our sponsors here. This is High School Baseball on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing. We will be right back.
As soon as we find the right commercial.
We're okay. We're getting there.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Ika at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Welcome to the Colt half of the fourth inning. Arlington will be sending to the plate the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Gannon Howard leading off for the Colts. Jeremiah Taylor on deck and Hayden White in the hole. Colts up 2-0. Luke Lazier, his first pitch. Swung on and hit to the outfield. Players giving chase, but it's going to drop into no man's land out there for a little bloop hit. And Gannon Howard gets aboard with a base hit.
That's how you lead off the inning.
Jackson Davis is at second base for the Vikings. Burns is still at first. Lazier still on the mound. And Jeremiah Taylor steps in with a runner at first.
So Owings is the only one that's not in the field of play.
Laid down perfectly. It's going to die right there, and Lazier's going to have nowhere to go. Base hit, sack bunt.
It's just a
it's a great
infield
play.
hit.
This grass is very well trimmed. It's a little spongy, and that ball rolled out there and died. Lazier was watching it, hoping it would roll foul, but it did not. It just settled into that thick, luxurious grass in the infield, and a base hit for Jeremiah Taylor. Runners at first and second now with nobody out in the inning, and Hayden White stepping into the plate. Lazier taking a look. Pitch on bunt again. Back pitcher. This time Lazier looks at first. Stutters. Turns to third trying to get the force out, and he gets nothing. I don't know why he turned to third.
Great base running. Great base running.
So Gannon Howard gets down to third. Jeremiah Taylor to second.
You just don't stop.
And Hayden White loads the bases on a base hit bunt. Bases loaded for the top of the order, Zach. That'll bring up Danny Bustamante. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the top of the fourth inning. Lazier comes set, and his first pitch to Busta is outside for ball one. Brock Jackson does a good job of tracking that one down and not letting it get past him, because that would be another sure run with the speedy Gannon Howard at third. Busta has walked his last at bat and scored one of the Colt runs. Pitch is an off-speed pitch that misses the zone. Count goes to 2-0 to Danny Bustamante. Gannon Howard just 90 feet away. Coach Womack in prime position to make the field call what to do on any kind of a play. Pitch home, swung on and popped up in the infield. It's an infield fly rule. Whether Burns catches it or not, the batter runner is out. For those of you who may be interested, the infield fly rule is in effect with runners at first and second, or first, second, and third, with less than 2 outs. The design there is to try and eliminate the option of the fielders dropping the ball on purpose and getting a double or triple play. And the umpire's just calling out in that situation. Bustamante with, I'm going to call it an F3 for the first out, and that brings up the left-handed hitting Mason Hensley. Bases full of Colts here with 1 out. Curveball outside for ball one, and the catcher Brock Jackson asks for time to go talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, this is a big situation because if even one of these runs comes across, right now the Colt defense is taking care of business behind Abe Alvarado, and we were mentioning in the pregame show, Pops, how important run support is for Alvarado. And right now the small ball is doing it. A bloop single, a couple of bunt singles, and the bases are loaded for arguably some of the hottest bats on the team.
Absolutely. Howard at third, Taylor at second, White at first. The pitch home, low and down in the dirt, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Mason Hensley. On deck, taking his warm-up swings, Matthew Wynn, waiting his turn. Pitch from Lazier. Called strike 1, chest high, but the umpire liked it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded. Lazier comes set, takes a look at Howard and comes home with it. Outside, ball 3.
Nowhere to put him. Are we sure it's a full count, Pops? It's tough to tell. We haven't gotten confirmation from the umpire.
Lazier taking his time on the mound. The pitch home. High for ball 4. It doesn't matter.
A walk RBI and a base hit RBI. Mason Hensley has plated 2 tonight, and it's 3-0.
That'll bring in Gannon Howard from third to score the Colts' 3rd run. Pushes Jeremiah Taylor over to third. Hayden White out to second. And Hensley down to first on the free pass. That brings up Matthew Wynn.
Matthew Wynn 0 for 2 on the evening and takes a look at a curveball at the waist for strike 1. Bases loaded with 1 out. Technically, he reached on a E4 in his first plate appearance, so 0 for 1, I suppose. An error doesn't count as your at-bat.
No.
0-1 the count. Bases juiced. One swing of the bat blows this game open. Low and away. Good dig there by Jackson. Taylor would have come in no problem if it got even 10 feet away from him.
London Prater taking some warm-up cuts on deck. He'll be next up, barring a double play or some other bizarre turn by the Lamar defense, who has been struggling tonight.
They have. Next pitch home. Chopper. The play's going to be at the plate. No, it'll go to first, and it's missed. Here comes another run. Taylor scores. A second run comes in, and the Colts are up 5-0. Another error by the Lamar defense, and Arlington takes advantage.
Zach, that error's got to be on the pitcher.
Yeah, that's an errant throw.
He should not have thrown to first base. Conventional wisdom would have said go to the plate on that, try to get the force out. But he throws it high to first base and over the glove of Ransom Burns there.
Well, technically, I would say it's a fielder's choice. He made the choice to trade the out for the run, but then the second run behind Taylor would have been unearned because he scored after it bobbled off of the glove of Burns. Another error as this one's lofted to left field. Prater's sending it to the wall. It's going to bounce off of the wall. 1 run is home. 2 runs are coming home. It's a bases clearing RBI double for Prater, and it's 7-0 Colts.
That ball had a chance. It was lofted. It was a rocket out to the light standard in left center field. And here comes the pitching coach.
It's just a single visit. Just a single visit. But Arlington has plated 5 thanks to some small ball giving momentum to the big ball.
That one lofted all the way to the 345-foot sign out in left field.
London Prater filling that cleanup hitter hole perfectly here tonight in this critical game between the Colts and the Vikings. Both of them ahead in District 8-6A. Maybe not for long, knock on wood.
Knock on
Announcer's jinx here. But Abe Alvarado is rolling tonight. His defense is backing up. The Lamar defense is struggling this evening behind Lazier.
How many errors is that now? I want to say 5.
I think that's the 5th error.
5 defensive miscues committed by the Lamar defense. And you just can't win ball games that way. And Arlington has taken advantage. They have stranded very few runners on the base paths. They have left a couple aboard, but they have plated 7 now, which has changed the momentum. It's changed the atmosphere. The whole environment is just much more muted from home plate all the way to that third base dugout.
Coach Womack reminding his runner out at second base, Prater, that there's only 1 out in the inning.
As Abe Alvarado reached on an E5 in his last plate appearance, as he calls time here. First pitch to him is in at the knees for a called strike. Lazier turns, fires. This one's lofted to left field. Bouchel's on his horse, and he'll watch it head to the fence. Here comes Prater. It's a stand-up double as Prater stomps on home to make it an 8-0 ball game.
That ball launched so fast and so far that it took a 1 hop over the left field fence for a ground rule double. But a tremendous blast as Murphy comes in to run for the pitcher, Abe Alvarado.
Speaking of run, that run is going to chase Lazier off of the mound. That signal from the coach is the sign of a pitching change. And the next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number, and tell them Zap sent you. We'll let you know who the new pitcher is after the break. This is high school baseball on Zach Arnold Productions, presented by John Wade Roofing, Arlington's favorite roofer since 1982. It's an 8-0 ball game when we come back. Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. New episodes drop monthly featuring news, reviews, discussions, and tangents on all our favorite franchises, including Marvel, DC, Star Trek, Star Wars, Stranger Things, Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, Dune, Godzilla, Firefly, Pixar, Doctor Who, Indiana Jones, The Last of Us, James Bond, House of the Dragon, Ghostbusters. I think you get the picture. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
Coming back to live action here as the Colts have just poured it on the Lamar Vikings here tonight. The new score, with only one out in the inning still, is 8-0 Arlington. Axel Alvarado due up. We're finding out who the new pitcher is for Lamar. He is not on Coach Kino's lineup anywhere, so we're going to the fan base. New pitcher number 17 on the mound. Runner at second base. Abe Alvarado hit a ground rule double that plated Prater from second, putting the 8th run on the board, and that'll bring up Axel Alvarado, and the Colts are batting around with Axel stepping in here. Colin Murphy running for Alvarado at second, and the first pitch from the new pitcher is he's a lefty, and it's high and outside for ball 1. Scorebug has a runner at second and a 1-0 count with 1 out here in the inning. Axel Alvarado ready for his second pitch here. The 1-0 delivery, high again for ball 2.
We finally have a name, Pops.
Who's our new pitcher, Zach?
1-7, Cole Rince, R-I-N-C-E.
All right.
2-0 with a runner in scoring position. 3-0 now to Alvarado as Rince yet to find the strike zone. 3 1/3 innings for Luke Lazier. 8 runs allowed, only 1 strikeout. 4-pitch walk, and Alvarado will take first base. We have a Rince on the starting lineup we were given, but it doesn't have the correct number, so that was the confusion for that one. Luckily, we were 10 feet away from the Arlington dugout, and we were able to ask team manager Stone Soto if he had it.
I know that name from football.
Stone's also a varsity football player, hanging out with the baseball team this spring.
Colts have batted around this inning, Zach. This is the 10th batter coming up to the plate.
Gannon Howard started things off this inning with a bloop single to right field and came around to score. Still just 1 out. Curveball can't find the zone. And at this point, you're going to dare the young man to throw a strike.
Yeah, he's in a difficult situation here with his team in a hole. He's being asked to put a tourniquet on the bleeding wound here. Takes a look out at second. All too high. 2 balls, 1 strike to Gannon Howard. Murph out at second, Alvarado at first. 2-1 delivery.
Jackson tried to frame it, couldn't get it. And you're going to dare Rince to throw a strike again. Hitters count to a young man who does have a home run this season. Rince is 3-1. Neck high, and the bases are loaded again, this time for Jeremiah Taylor.
Colts have messed up my score sheet now officially.
Sorry, not sorry.
No, really.
And there's another mound visit taking place. This is the pitching coach, though, coming out to have a visit with number 17, Rince. But with a bases loaded situation, we'll see just how long his leash is.
Oh, he looks like he's gone.
He's got the baseball from 1-7, and we're going to make a change. Not very often you see the pitching coach make the change, but that is what's going to happen here. And that is the sign of a pitching change. The next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ika Signs is the printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number. And tell them Zach Arnold Productions sent you. We'll let you know who the new pitcher is, hopefully, after this break. High school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. I'll be right back.
Taqueria Taco Express is your one-stop shop for all things authentic Mexican in Arlington and Grand Prairie. And this fall, you'll now have 4 stops to choose from. Visit the new location off 20 and Little Road or any of their 3 original locations and try their $10 Taco Tuesday. It includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca. They also feature new birria items plus tortas, gorditas, and more. Find out just how much more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
New pitcher on the mound for the Vikings, another substitute coming out of the dugout. This is number 9, Joe Bagineau. He'll be coming in with the bases loaded for Jeremiah Taylor. First pitch lofts in above the lettering for ball 1 with nowhere to put him. Across town at the ballpark at Bowie, the Volunteers with a 3-0 lead on Haltom, looking for their 7th district win. If this outcome stays the same, it'll be a couple of 7-3 squads playing each other in a home-and-home next week, Pops.
So it's Lamar and Bowie next week?
Lamar and Bowie next week. Both of them 7-3. The 2-0 to Taylor. Fouled back for strike 1.
I hope that didn't hit our camera back there. I heard a thump, but I think it went off the roof of the
I don't think
press box.
I don't think Mom gets paid enough to get in the way of a foul ball.
No, I just took a look at her. She's pretty chill up there by the camera.
The 2-1. Bases headed to home, and they will get the force at first. Quesada with a non-conventional 5-2 fielder's choice as JT reaches, but there are 2 outs now. Mom just texted us and she goes, "The camera is fine."
She must be listening to us.
She's tuning in. We're loud, but we're not loud enough to be heard all the way down the stands. Courtesy runner for the catcher for Jeremiah Taylor. Probably Sam Harper from the looks of it. Oh, thought about it there, did Hayden White. Decided against it. Yeah, I got that right. That is 17, Sam Harper. So Harper running at first, excuse me. And the curveball drops in. It's 0-2 to Hayden White.
Axel at third, Howard at second. JT and the runner Harper for him at first. Base is still loaded with 2 outs.
The 0-2, bid outside, that's ball 1. Well, Pops, we came into this ball game thinking that runs would be at a premium. So far, that's only been the case for one of these teams. The 1-2 now, and he can't connect. It's chipped into the glove, and Bagineau does his job.
Hayden White is retired. The runners are left stranded, but the Colts plate 6 here in the 4th inning to completely turn this game on its head. Speaking of head, we are headed to the 4th inning stretch, which is presented by our friends at Taqueria Taco Express. They feature a wide, authentic menu and can solve any Mexican food craving you may have. Order online to collect points for free food or get 5 tacos and a large agua fresca on Taco Tuesdays for just $10. I'll have more info on them when we come back from the break. It's high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Taqueria Taco Express is your one-stop shop for all things authentic Mexican in Arlington and Grand Prairie. And this fall, you'll now have 4 stops to choose from. Visit the new location off 20 and Little Road or any of their 3 original locations and try their $10 Taco Tuesday. It includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca. They also feature new birria items plus tortas, gorditas, and more. Find out just how much more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
The Vikings played Take Me Out to the Ball Game during the break, and then they also are playing Deep in the Heart of Texas. The only people that really sang were the Colt faithful, as they now have a 8-0 advantage. Plenty of run support for Abe Alvarado as the Vikings finally make it to the bottom half of their inning here in the 4th. Alvarado turns in, delivers fastball in there for strike 1 to the first man in the order. The DH, Jacob Greco, flew out to second base his last time up. Quick to the plate and can't get the call. It's ball 1. Pops, we're going to have to adjust our commercials for Taqueria Taco Express. We originally talked about their 3 locations as this one's put in play. Past Alvarado, charging it as Bustamante from third, and he'll get it in time to Matthew Wynn. They originally said 3, and I was okay with that when they opened up their 4th location. I could live with it. It's kind of in that ballpark. But I got a text message earlier today, or yesterday. I'm signed up for automatic messages because of how many times I've ordered food from them. And in the text message, they were letting us know, as strike 1 is issued to Brock Jackson, letting us know that their 5th location is opening this weekend in Waxahachie. So we're going to have to change our readers as ball 1 is issued there. 5 Taqueria Taco Express locations to choose from, all of them fantastic, and all of them great partners of Zach Arnold Productions. Strike 2 is the call. And Jackson squints in disbelief as he thought he had a ball there. Bottom of the 6th inning across town. Bowie leads 3-0 as ball 2 is issued. If Bowie can hang on and send Haltom to 5-5 and move to 7-3, then they should face the Vikings with mutual 7-3 records, and those games will also be here on the Zap Network, Pops. And now we know that this camera and this configuration works for this ballpark, as the curveball is too far inside there to Jackson.
Colt dugout thought that one looked good. Explosion of cheers for AB. But the umpire thought differently. That's it.
There's the call, strike 3, and there's strikeout number 6 for Abe Alvarado.
Abe is really working well tonight. I have felt all evening he has looked stronger with his fastball, accurate with that breaking pitch. He is really on so far tonight. Very confident.
Quesada puts this in play to his third baseman counterpart. A couple of pumps from Bustamante, and the throw across the diamonds in time. all of that batting around that Arlington just did, and they send the Vikings down in order. 1, 2, 3. We're through 4 complete. Arlington looking to plate 2 runs here in the 5th inning and send everybody home early. We'll see if they're able to do it when we come back with more high school baseball on Zach Arnold Productions, presented by John Wade Roofing, right after this. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. We appreciate you.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
Welcome back to the campus of the Lamar Vikings. 7-2 Arlington, 7-2 Lamar. Right now, the Colts in control and look like they may be on their way to first place in the district with only 2 weeks left to play. Zach Arnold, my pops, Doug, on the call for this critical district tilt as Danny Bustamante gets ready to lead things off in the top of the order. Pops, I got a text from all 3 of our friends across town at Bowie at about the same time. Tim, Jot, and the Golden Pipes of Yadi Pagan all wrote me to let me know that the Bowie starting pitcher Isaiah Henderson just threw an immaculate inning.
9 pitches, 3 outs.
Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, sit down. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, sit down. Did that 3 times against the Buffaloes. They're up 3-0 as they get ready to head to the 7th inning. That game also live on the Zap Network as Bustamante puts this one into center field, and it'll drop in front of Archibald for a leadoff base hit.
Good job there by Boost. I want to go back to the Bowie game for a second. It's really, really good to hear that Isaiah Henderson is back on the mound for the Volunteers. He was injured a couple of games ago, the night that we were there with everybody in force against Arlington. And he took a nasty turn of his ankle running down to first base, and we're so glad to see him back to the pitching mound.
He'll be one of the seniors that we honor in tomorrow's ball game against Fort Worth Southwest as Mason Hensley takes a look at ball 1 above the head of Brock Jackson. That senior day broadcast is scheduled for a noon first pitch, and then the honoring of the players will actually take place post-game from what I've heard, Pop. So we'll just leave the stream up for people to tune in to that senior commemoration. I guess they want to take their time with it, which makes sense.
I used to do PA announcing for Mansfield Summit, and they always did that. They did the ceremony afterwards and had all the family and friends and everybody on the field and just took their time.
Ball 2 high and away to Hensley. Hensley has 2 RBI, 1 off of a single down the right field line and another one off of a bases loaded walk. 2 of the 8 runs that Arlington has plated this evening. Ball 3 too low. Hopefully you guys were able to see that.
Somebody walked in front of the camera.
Somebody just lives in his own world, and it's okay. He wanted something to eat, so he's going to take the fastest route down the stairs. Makes sense. It's all part of the ballpark experience. Makes you feel like you're there. A strike is called at the knees as that looping pitch finally loops into the strike zone. And Hensley will take the free pass. That's ball 4 as Bustamante makes his way down to second base. Puts him in scoring position. So another free pass for Hensley, and he's reached safely 3 times tonight.
Nobody out in the inning here with Colts at first and second base. Prater taking his cuts on deck.
First pitch to Win is low and away for ball 1.
Win with a base hit and an on base and scoring a run, to his credit tonight.
Drove in 2 on the error when there was a play at the plate. Lazier had an option to go home, threw to first instead. It went wide of the first baseman. Win reached safely, as did 2 base runners reaching home safely. Part of that 6-run onslaught of the previous inning. 2 on, nobody out. And again, can't find the zone. 3-0, and Matthew Wynn will put the bat on his shoulders for this next pitch.
Zach, we've talked in previous games how the Colts seem to score in bunches at times, and they did so last inning.
They're doing it enough times to put them in prime position to be first place in the district. They do get the strike call issued, belt high to Win, and it's 3 balls and a strike now. If he finds his way aboard, Prater will have the bases loaded. The 3-1 in play, chopper, short, 6, 4, and 3. They are going to issue the double play. First time tonight that the Lamar defense was able to cleanly turn a defensive play. That's number 4 at shortstop.
That's Jackson Davis.
No, there's a new number at second base. Davis is at second. There's a new number at short. Oh no, Shyrock is number 4. My mistake. Shyrock does turn the double play from short. Prater rips this, and it'll be a base hit to left field. There's the 9th run of the ball game. Bustamante comes in from third on the RBI single by Prater, and it's 9-0 Arlington.
Back-to-back hits. He put the bat on the ball in the 3rd inning and got on with an error. Double last at bat, a single this at bat. Prater's really on fire tonight with the plate appearances.
Reached on an E5 and a double and a single. 3 times he's reached safely in 4 appearances. Abe Alvarado swings and fouls this one into the netting behind him. Colts just need 1 more if they can during this 2-out sequence for us to go home a little early. Although it doesn't look like anybody from the stands has gone home early, which is a good sign. Alvarado will take a look at a ball. Stands look just as full as they were in the first couple of innings, Pops. I admire and appreciate that everybody is here to support their local team.
Good turnout on a Friday night. Great place to be at the ballpark.
Alvarado puts this one to the gap. That's a base hit to left field. Prater will hold up at second, but Alvarado with back-to-back base hits. And he's reached safely 3 out of 4 times. Would have been 4 times out of 4 times if he hadn't had that screaming liner that went into the glove of Owings.
Yeah, that was just a good play by Owings at second base. He was a tall young man, and he stretched every inch of it to grab that one.
Murphy will come in to run as the courtesy runner, and it looks like we've got a new batter coming in for the Colts.
Number 14.
I don't have it memorized.
Coming up, Yadier Gomez.
Yadier Gomez batting for Axel. And Gomez has played in the outfield, so there's a chance that we'll see him out there in the field again.
Gomez stepping in for his first appearance in the evening with 2 outs in the inning, runners at first and second. Gomez steps back out of the batter's box. Steps back in. And we're ready for his first pitch. That ball's a little bit low and away for ball 1. We've seen Yadier Gomez come up in a pinch hitting situation before and get a base hit. We're looking to bring that runner in from third and extend the lead to 10. Possibly enact the run rule situation. Bajeneau comes home, and he hits that zone that time for a called strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Yadier Gomez. Runner out at second base is Danny Bustamante, has good wheels. Should Yadier Gomez deliver here, Bustamante has a really good chance of making it home. Colt dugout alive and well. Bajeneau looks at second, comes home. Curveball breaks a little bit early into the dirt, but Brock Jackson does a good job of blocking it and keeping it in front of him. Ball and strike count goes to 2 balls and 1 on Yadier Gomez. Important for Brock Jackson to make that play there, keeping the ball in front of him and keeping those runners where they are. Pitcher takes a look at second, comes home with the 2-1 count, and the ball is fouled over the third base dugout into the parking lot. I think we're parked far enough away, Zach, that we'll be okay. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Gomez, with 2 outs here in the inning. Bajeneau looks in for the sign from Jackson. Cubs set, looks at Busta at second, makes another look at Busta and comes home. High for ball 3. Count runs full. Prater's out at second base, taunting the players out there, the defensive. Looking to get Prater home here is Yadier Gomez with a 3-2 count. Swung on and hit to right field. It's going to be over the head of the right fielder all the way to the fence. Here comes Prater. He's going to plate it home. Here comes Murphy. He's going to score. And Yadier Gomez delivers again in a pinch hitting role with a 2-run scoring double.
It's 11-0. 2 runs, 6 runs, and now 3 runs by this Arlington offense, scoring in bunches, even off the bench. Gomez delivers what is likely the gut punch of this ball game. And now we get one of our favorite players to talk about at the plate.
I got to visit with Noah's pop the other day. He was very complimentary of our banter we have about his son. But Noah, one of our favorite players because he is a hustler.
He hustled in one of the first ball games of the year, scoring on a wild pitch. And since then, we've just had fun talking about how his favorite food is an entire restaurant of Panda Express.
We had a preseason survey. We asked the players some of their favorite things. What's your favorite food?
Just barely foul. Oh, another foot to the right.
That was a hot Szechuan hot down there, shot down that left field line. People ask the steak is their favorite food, hamburgers. Cifuentes' favorite food was Panda Express.
Panda.
The entire menu. And his pop was like, yeah, and I got to pay for all that.
0-1 here to Cifuentes. And we'll make it 0-2 as the curveball drops in. It's an 0-2 to Cifuentes. Colts have the 10 runs that they would need for a 5-inning finish. Meanwhile, the full 7 is being played across town. Bowie has loaded the bases, and it looks like they are about to take a 6-0 lead after that sacrifice fly as Cifuentes takes a look at ball 1 here. So Bowie on their way to dispatching Haltom at home. Arlington 4 outs away from dispatching Lamar.
Not only dispatching, retrieving the brooms.
1-2 to Cifuentes. Make it 2-2. It'll stay in front of the catcher Jackson, though. Runner retreats to second base. That's Gamez delivering the RBI double just moments ago. Two with 2 outs, man on base 2. Ball 3, Cifuentes has worked it full after falling behind 0-2.
Pagano appears to be trying to place the ball. Instead of using his whole body and following through, that seemed to be more arm than anything else on that last delivery.
Got to use your whole body here for a payoff pitch with 2 outs. And it's ball 4. Cifuentes draws the free pass in the quality at-bat. We'll see if Gannon Howard comes back in to run for him after the pinch hit appearance by 26.
Nah, he's a hustler. He's going to stay in there.
And now we'll get
That's
Sam
Harper.
Harper, number 17, coming in for Jeremiah Taylor. Giving the bench players some opportunities. Gamez at second, Cifuentes at first. Harper's first pitch is away for ball 1. Looks like there is activity in the Lamar bullpen on the opposite side of the third baseline.
Better warming up for the Colts, Sawyer Hutcherson in the on-deck circle.
Saw him get a start in one of the tournament games during the Drew Medford. Have not seen that much of him since, as the district rotation had been pretty set. Harper takes a look at a strike here. We're hoping Hutch gets an at-bat. There's 2 outs here with 2 men on. The only way he'll make it is if Harper finds his way aboard. 1-1 to the righty hitter. A look at Gamez at second, and the pitch. Can't find the zone, ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike, says the man in the powder blue shirt. The next pitch, lofted to right field. That could be trouble. Base hit, says the umpire. Here comes Gamez. Cifuentes is on his way to third. They're going to wave him in. Harper's headed for third. The play is to nowhere. That's an RBI triple for Sam Harper, and 2 more come across for the Colts.
Just a great piece of hitting there, as this will bring a visit from the Lamar coach, and we may see the hook here, as the assistant coach had the hook last time.
And it looks like Rentz is going to be sent to the dugout. That signal from the coach is the sign of a pitching change. Next time you need signs, banners, business cards, stickers, vinyls, acrylics, or any other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number. We'll tell you who the new pitcher is after the break. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com. New pitcher coming onto the mound for the Lamar Vikings. This is 4th pitcher that they have sent to the mound. This is number 7, Ryan Dominguez. Pops, you said that number 7 saw some time in the field for Lamar on Tuesday. Now he's going to see some time on the mound, trying to get that elusive third out here in the 5th inning.
Yeah. The Lamar defense has had some trouble tonight, but that was a good hit by Sam Harper. A hot shot down the first base line all the way to that coffin corner. Took some time to catch up to it, did Colton McKay. And by the time he got it back into the infield, Harper had steamed into third. You know, I enjoyed watching Harper earlier in the season. He was playing some left field for the Colts and made some really good plays out there. And so it's fun to see him get back into a game in a situation like this and actually contribute to the offense here, putting 2 more runs on the board, running that total up to 13. Lucky 13 on a full moon night here at Lamar Field.
Yeah, the Baker's dozen working in Arlington's favor as we get an at-bat for Hutcherson here after Dominguez finishes his warm-up pitches. It'll be number 7 on number 7 as we get our 4th pinch hitter in a row.
And why not? The players in the dugout love supporting their...
Gomez got a double. Cifuentes got a walk. Harper got a triple. This is a showcase of depth more than anything.
Yep.
First pitch from Dominguez is high for ball 1 to Hutcherson. This one's going to skitter away, and here comes Harper. 14th run as he gets his jersey dirty. And Womack
not happy.
Is not happy with his actions. There is a certain level of gamesmanship that you can enact. And with the score being what it is and the situation being what it is, context is definitely important. It was a 2-0 pitcher's duel on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You have a lot of respect for your opponent in those tightly contested ball games. Things just not going Lamar's way tonight as the wild pitch brings in another run. Hutcherson will take a look at a strike here. But Pops, I would imagine you could end up, it could end up being a while before we see Sam Harper defensively on the field again.
Yeah, Womack wanting his players to show respect and continue showing respect. Harper not getting a chance to be out on the field very much. Little bit of showboating there.
Hutcherson has to suck in his gut there as he draws another ball. Showing a full count on the scoreboard. We'll see what happens here on this pitch. It's a swing and a miss, and Dominguez does get strike 3. Hutcherson is retired, but Arlington puts another 6 spot on the board. 2, 6, and 6 as we get ready for the potential final 3 outs of this ball game. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th, and the 10-run rule is in effect. Stick around. This might be the final 3 outs of high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing when we come back.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana, aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Grand Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Ika Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Ika features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Ika at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
To the bottom of the 5th inning we go. Zach Arnold and my Pops Doug on the call. Pops, there are some Arlington faithful that call us the good luck charm, and I have a hard time denying it with you and me on a 14-0 football score right now. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, Colton McKay leading things off. He'll take a look at ball 1 as Abe Alvarado looking to come out for the complete game shutout. The defense appears to be intact. I thought we might see some substitutions, but that is Prater out in right, that's Howard out in center, that's Axel out in left, Danny at third, Mason at short, Hayden at second, and Matthew at first. With a 1-1 count at the plate to McKay as he fouls that one out of play. Haltom and Bowie were able to play a full 7 before we could even get a full 5 in, Pops. It's the final score at the ballpark at Bowie. The Volunteers dispatch Haltom 6-0.
Good for Bowie.
After getting swept by these Arlington Colts as the count moves to 2-2, they turn around and sweep Haltom, not allowing a single run. It was 15-0 on Tuesday, 6-0 tonight. Swing and a miss from McKay. That's a strikeout. 7th one of the evening for Abe Alvarado.
You know, Haltom started off really hot this year.
They did.
And we thought they were going to be a top contender for the district race, and they've just once district started, they just kind of faded away.
Strike 1 to Ransom Burns. Only his 2nd plate appearance tonight. His first one up, he had a single right back up the middle to center field, but that feels like ages ago. Chopper and Busta off balance. The tag will be applied to get the 2nd out.
That was a fantastic play. Very difficult pickup by Bustamante. He was kind of leaning away from first base, threw it across his body, a little bit off the bag, and a great play by Matthew Wynn there.
A great recovery.
To apply the tag. Wynn gets tousled. He loses his hat, loses his glasses, but he made the tag. Good play there by the Colt defense.
This is number 15, Connor Bushell, representing Lamar's final out. Fans, a reminder to stay tuned for the postgame show presented by John Wade Roofing at the immediate conclusion of this ball game. Thoughts and analysis from this one's outcome and a look ahead to future games and future Zap broadcasts as ball 1 is delivered high and tight. We don't want to overstay our welcome, so we will be shutting things down relatively expeditiously so that we can get home. I got to get back to my wife in Fort Worth and let her know I exist because I'm going to be out again tomorrow for another baseball game. Bushell puts this one in play. It's past Alvarado, charging is Hensley, scoops, fires, and that's the ball game. Arlington pours it on in the later innings, and they sweep the district-leading Lamar Vikings to take first place in 8-6A.
Vikings coming out on the field, the Colts lining up at first base to traditional handshake. Kino and Womack greet each other warmly. Still good sportsmanship among these two teams. And Lamar's not out of it.
Oh, far from it.
There's plenty of opportunity still to go to postseason play. But what this does is it sets up Arlington on top of the hill now and strengthens the position heading into the potential for postseason, because when you look at the potential lineup of a top-seeded winner in the district going against the third or fourth seed in the opposing district, that's a good matchup to get you past the by-district round.
Well, and you don't want to be the fourth seed if you can avoid it. As we go into the post-game show presented by John Wade Roofing, you can see the John Wade Roofing logo up in the upper corner there. That'll be our de facto way of representing their brand. The fourth seed in this district will likely have to play one of the top teams in the state in the Jesuit Rangers.
Yeah.
So Arlington taking first place position in the district tonight helps them avoid a opponent that has been a thorn in their side in the postseason for the last several years, and gives them an inside track to the district title.
Yeah.
They have played arguably some of their toughest opponents of the season in the form of South Grand Prairie and now this district-leading Lamar team. They seem to be peaking at the right time, pouring it on in this ball game, 14-0. I would have been happy with just those 2 runs in the third, the way Abe Alvarado was pitching.
Yeah.
And then they put on another 6 and another 6 to make it a football score.
Yeah.
And send a statement to the rest of the district that they could win out.
Well, and that's the trap there, is you've got to do what you need to do against Grand Prairie next week. Grand Prairie winless on the season, and you've got to go into their ballpark and win there and then win at home, and then you got to take care of rival Martin. And so you still have plenty of business to take care of, does this Colt baseball team.
Yes.
But they are definitely showing some momentum. Great outing by Abe Alvarado tonight. We mentioned that he often runs out of gas in late innings in the game and has to have the Hensley come in and do a traditionally great job of relieving, but not so tonight, as Abe looked a little bit stronger tonight.
His velocity was up compared to previous games. I did notice that, and that really helped him mix his pitches to be able to get the variety, fastball, curveball, changeup, back to fastball, and that variety really, really gave him a boost tonight. He goes the complete game, gets the shutout, 0 runs allowed, 7 Ks, and most importantly, the win. Arlington improves to 8-2 in district, 13-10 overall, and they've got a pretty important couple of series coming up. Lamar is going to be playing the Bowie Volunteers next week, which is also a team that Zap covers here on the Zap Network, and so we will be back to see how things go against these Vikings when the 7-3 Volunteers play the 7-3 Vikings. So even if Arlington doesn't have as tough of a schedule next week, it's still anybody's race in these final 2 weeks of district.
Yeah. Last thing I'm going to say as we want to shut this down a little bit earlier tonight, the Colt offense, I'm looking at my score sheet, every single player and the guys that got in pinch hitting situations got on base tonight. The only one that didn't make it on base was Hutcherson, but what an offensive performance against the Lamar baseball team. The defense was struggling tonight with 4 errors, and they ran through 4 different pitchers tonight. So it just wasn't Lamar's night, but the Colts took care of that business, taking advantage of the situation as they needed to.
Speaking of business, consider John Wade Roofing for all of your roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar repair, and more. They are a staple in the Arlington community and have a lot of deep ties to Arlington High School and the city of Arlington in general. John Sr. was the team MVP in '76. John Jr. played for the team in the '90s. And this family's legacy at Arlington High is also a legacy that they're building in the community and has been for over 40 years. Call them at 817-265-5520 for all your roofing needs. That's going to do it for us here in North Arlington. Final score again, Arlington 14, Lamar 0. The Zap Network will be live for Bowie High School's Senior Day tomorrow at 12 noon. But that is it for our Arlington coverage. We encourage fans to come out and support the Colts at Colt Field tomorrow against Frisco Lone Star. We'll be back for district action Tuesday against Grand Prairie. But that's it for us for now. For my Pops Doug, I'm Zach Arnold, thanking you for tuning in, for supporting small businesses and local broadcasts by tuning in tonight. We'll see you all next time. Until then, have a great night.